Good morning, afternoon, and evening, Sunshine fans and bingo enthusiasts. Welcome to Bingothon Summer 2021, and welcome to this Super Mario Sunshine 1v1 Lockout Bingo match between rimato13 and MLarvitar. My name is Lego, and I'm joined here in the commentary booth by Pneumatic Komodo, PK. What a fantastic day for bingo, and what a fantastic match we have on the docket. This draft lockout matchup between two of the best bingo players in the scene. Are you as excited as I am?
Yeah, I'm very excited. They're also both very good at draft, so that's always exciting.
Yep. And so I will be flipping the coin to decide who goes first. We will give the privilege to Mr. Rimato, being the Bingo League Season 1 and 2 champion. Rimato, would you like the Super Mario Odyssey cap or globe?
I think I'll go with the globe.
A globe for a global marathon, but the cap came up, so it will be Larvi drafting first. As mentioned, this is draft lockout. Which means that we will reveal the card, and then Larvi will draft a goal, which will protect it for 30 minutes from Rimato. And then Rimato will draft 2, and we'll continue in a snake fashion before we end up with 5 goals drafted apiece. As I mentioned, those goals are protected for 30 minutes. After that 30-minute period is up, any player may click those goals. And we'll talk a little bit about their draft after the fact. But now let's get right into it. Players ready?
Yeah. I am about as ready as I think I can get.
All righty. Counting you down in Bingo Sync. We'll reveal the card in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and take a look.
You guys can deafen also.
All right. See you guys.
Peace
Good luck
out.
on commentary.
All right.
Now, there is a fresh new patch here for 1v1 Lockout that was announced a couple weeks back. This is the first major match played on this variant, but there's some familiar goals there, and Larvi is going to click away 5 bluebirds as his first drafted goal. And if we can get the board revealed on stream, that would assist our viewers in seeing the full gamut of possibilities here. 5 bluebirds, pretty general goal. There are 8 bluebirds in all of Super Mario Sunshine, 6 of which are pretty easily accessible. The 7th can prove pretty tricky between Gelato, Delfino, Pinna, and then the last 2 are in Bianco and Pianta. Rimato counters back with 9 Serena Blues and 3 Boss Shines.
Honestly, pretty good on this card with Serena Hidden and 4 Serena Shines. Getting, like, the main reason to go to Serena early out of the way, pretty good, because it might just scare Larvi away from those 2 goals as well.
Yeah, like 9 Serena Blues is pretty low commitment, all things considered. Synergizes well with 3 bosses, as you do have to clear past Serena 1, which is the Manta Shine. As you mentioned, 4 Serena on the card, 1 Serena Hidden also there. No pipes. There's 7 enemies. You can be kind of cute. Do it in 3. But no, Larvi's thinking about nozzles here. 1 turbo, 2 rockets. Pretty okay, all things considered. Turbo can be done at pretty much any time. Once you have access to the rocket nozzle in Bianco 4, you can clip behind the barrier and grab that particular nozzle. So it's not as late game of a goal as it might suggest.
Yep. Also generally works well with 7 enemies, since you generally want Bianco and Rico. 3 rockets also on the card, so that's generally just going to be in the realm of what Larvi's looking at right now. Also, the Serena start from Rimato means that it's probably going to take a little bit for him to get to Pinna.
Yeah, and that's
very slow.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because here comes in Rimato's draft with 15 Delfino Blues and then 15 yellow button coins from Pinna. You're talking about the Serena start potentially reducing the amount of time to be able to contest Pinna goals. And here's Rimato saying, nah, I'm going to get it all. which is pretty aggressive. Now, Rimato is a fast player, but Larvi is definitely no slouch either. And this sort of puts a stake in the ground that Rimato is either going to contest both of those, which would be pretty narrowly focused. That being said, 9 Serena Blues, 15 Delfino Blues, fairly easy to do, and they'll get you some shine prog towards Pinna. 3 boss shines, you'll get a boss shine from Pinna at the very beginning. So there's like ways to fit it all together. Larvi counters back with 7 enemy blues and 5 from 2 levels.
5 from 2 basically just says I'm going to commit to deep Rico. I'm going to commit to deep, or well, not deep Bianco, but like probably going to stay there a bit longer. With that said, I don't know how much value there is to that, especially Bianco, because like, although I guess 6 shines from 2 worlds is there as well.
Yeah, are we gonna see? Are we gonna see them? Are we gonna see Larvi commit to like 5? Bianco 5 to fight PD2 to combo with 6 from world, because you can fit 5 shines in the first, 1 through 4 and 3 hidden.
Yeah,
but you don't necessarily want to commit that deep. And if you're going to go for 6 from 2 as well, right?
Yep.
You get access to some more reds that way. But and there's 8 from 1 also on the card too. Bianco, I don't know, it doesn't scream to me that it's worth that level of commitment.
Yeah. Rico has the value because of Rico Shadow Mario existing. With that said,
alrighty, we'll be counting them down here, starting in 3, 2, 1, and they are off to the races. And as is tradition for SMS Bingo, we start on a fresh new file, so you get to enjoy the wonderful cutscenes and the excellent top-notch voice acting. But our runners tend to use this time as routing time to piece together their draft, their opponent's draft, and to piece together what they're going to want to contest. As a reminder, this is Lockout Bingo, which means that as soon as a goal is clicked, the opponent cannot click it. And those dots represent each player's draft. So sorry for interrupting you, PK. Let's talk a little more about 5 from 2, 6 from 2. And 8 from 1. It's sort of 3 goals that sit pretty close together in terms of synergies.
Yep. So first you have to look at like where could 8 from 1 be. On this card, it's almost exclusively going to be Rico.
Agreed.
If it's not Rico, Bianco is okay, and then it's probably like Pinna, which is eh.
Yeah, and there's like no reason, like the other like contender for 8 from 1 that you see sometimes is like Pianta, but there's nothing pulling you there, right? There's no pipes, there's no Pianta specific goals, there's no 16 in Pianta, there's not even Pianta hundreds. I don't think there's a reason to enter Pianta on this card at all.
Yeah, it basically be for the 5 from 2, 6 from 2, 8 from 1 synergy completely, and then a rocket. That would be like the max you could do there. And that's just, and I guess 8 NPCs as well is the other option.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, 8 NPCs would be kind of cute to cut from a deep Rico, and I think you end up winning out that way if you just hard commit Pianta. You could also do 5 bluebirds without entering Pinna. If you did that,
yeah,
you get a fast hit in. You have access to a red coin shine there in 5R. I just wonder if it's put you too behind the rest of the card.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I think if it had some better synergy with like 1 more goal, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like Noki is okay here because 12 Noki blues and 3 rockets. Pinna, fine. You probably don't commit to Pinna 100 early. With that said, that's kind of the value of Pianta, is that it's fast. So if they wanted to rush to Pinna, it'd be an option. But, like, the only person who has any desire to, like, do faster stuff is Rimato because of the Serena start. Or, well, not the Serena start, but, like, the desire to go to Serena.
I mean, you do get access to a life grinding spot as part of that commitment. 5 from 2, 6 from 2 could work that way, right? Like, you just go to 6, right? Yep. You don't really need to finish it out. Now, that being said, in Serena, you also have access to a life grinding spot, so the value there does end up getting diminished.
Yeah, you also have reason to do Serena hidden, because it's on the card.
Yeah,
so just having that as an option is nice.
As you are no doubt aware, someone has been senselessly
so Pianta's weird. It's like you could go there. It's just like, I think the only value for it is if Rimato is specifically trying to say, I'm going to cut off what you're trying for, Larvi. But with that said, if he does it, it's not impossible for Larvi to just go and take Serena. Because Pianta doesn't give bosses. Pianta does not give progress to anything on his draft except 20 lives and 15 pin a yellow button coins.
Exactly, right? Pianta, has no enemies. It has fewer reds, right? It has hiddens. But one of them both of them are very late. There's just not a ton of, like, Pianta's cute, but I don't think it's good enough to really seriously contest the other possibilities. I like it a bit more from Larvi.
I actually think I like it more for Rimato, just to try to take away his power. Because Larvi's draft screams, I'm going deep Rico. If Rimato just starts Pianta, he can take away the Rico Shadow Mario option, and there goes that weird 8 from 1 scenario from Larvi, because now if he commits further, it's kind of gross. Because he could get the other boss, but Rimato could probably still turn around to get bosses. It's just a little awkward.
Yeah, you'd basically have to do... You'd have to do Rico 1, Pinna 1...
And Bianco.
And I guess Serena? Do you even touch Bianco if you're transitioning out?
It depends if he's rushing 3 bosses. But
like net though, wouldn't Manta end up being about the same amount of time? Like if you had to pick 3 of those 4 bosses, I don't know how much slower Manta would be. I mean, with whenever, maybe. Right,
yeah,
maybe
part of it's whenever.
Yeah, but like Manta's a 3-minute shine. PD2 is a 2.5 after you enter.
It's probably like it's probably more like 2:15. Yeah. So like it depends if he's like, I need 3 bosses now, or if he does not think it's going to be contested.
Right, but like if Larvi's committing to Deep Rico, you know he's going to have 2 bosses, so I think that may tip the scales in favor.
Yep.
Well, enough debating and enough deliberating. They're off to the races. Rimato heading to unlock Bianco. Larvi grabbing a pepper, seems to be setting up for Plunderbell.
Yep. Looks like he wants Rico, which makes sense. That is his his desired spot.
Yep.
The only way that Rimato really could have stopped the play from Larvi realistically is the Pianta play. With that said, Larvi still gets some value. He gets turbo still. But this is good for Larvi. Larvi's going to be happy to get this basically uncontested, in quotation marks.
Yeah, not happy that he missed Plunderbell there. Pepper seemed to be a bit too far away. You can collect that shine at the same time as the Piranha Plant dies, and you essentially save a respawn, and you sort of clear the polluted Piranha Plant in advance.
Yep.
Ramato did get Jail Blue, though, so 1 out of 15 Delfino Blues all said and done. 14 more, though, will take some effort.
Yep, it should be noted that there are 2 blue coin goals on the card that generally favors Ramato, just because he's faster. He's known as the blue coins guy in SMS Bingo.
Speaking of blue coin goals, there's not a lot of level blue coin goals. I think 12 Noki Blues and 9 Serena were the only ones on this card.
That and 15 Delfino.
That and 15 Delfino.
But it's all Delfino. Weird ones.
Yeah.
It's nothing like, 23 Rico Blues, where you just...
Or 15 Bianco Blues, or, anything else that might pull you into a level.
Yep. It's a lot of, like... Because once you get to Noki, most of the totals goals are typically either done or being finished at that time. And then, like, you never are going to Serena for the 9 blues specifically. Or, like, you are, but, like, it's not because you're going for totals. Ramato's going around grabbing blue coins.
Notably failed DeLorean, whereas Larvi succeeded.
Yep.
Which is why Ramato went through, did Jelly Skip, grabbed the bird, and is now talking to the Chuckster to finish that out. So, despite Ramato being technically ahead to 3 shines there, that missed DeLorean and then the resulting collection of blues will put Larvi to be first to the polluted piranha, if that's Ramato's goal. And it appears it is. He's going to get one half of the linked here as they're setting up for Rico. So Rimato may be making a play to try to contest Larvi in Rico specifically, which also isn't bad for anything that he wants to do. Rico is still a fast level. Gets you 2 bosses. Will help you make progress towards some of the other stuff on the card. Again, 5 from 2, 8 from 1, 6 from 2.
Yep.
Rico, Shadow, Mario all exist. You get a rocket nozzle along the way.
Yep. Should be noted, I mentioned that Pianto was the way of Ramato contesting Larvi. The other way is just beat him in Rico. Which is doable since he's the faster player, but he's choosing to collect blue coins, which is completely fair.
And it's not like Rico provides no value to him. Even if he ends up losing some of these later Rico goals, still gives him a boss, still gives him some reds, gives him hiddens access, gives him easy blue coin access. If you look in comparison, Larvi has not touched a single blue coin, so...
Yep. Looks like Ramato is doing Pachinko, so he may have been considering contesting. And then, as soon as he missed DeLorean, he was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then that kind of goes with, like, the I'm going to collect some blues while I do this. It makes sense. Larvi generally could try to grab enemies at some points. He also has reason to leave Rico to finish off Rockets and Turbo. Well, Turbo's... or more so 5 from 2. But... It's interesting that Ramato kind of just pivoted. It looks like he's now going to make the Serena play.
Yeah, I was curious there. So Pachinko does get him his first red coin and the first red coin of the match. One of the goals I want to highlight specifically about Delfinos and red coins as well is a change to a previous goal that used to exist in the 1v1 Lockout rule set. Pin of 4 and lily pad shines is actually a new wording of a goal that used to be lily pad no fruit clipping. Fruit clipping referring to using the banana to clip into the pipe as opposed to using Yoshi. There are clips with Yoshi that allow you to skip the long boat ride. But the phrasing of this goal explicitly allows a player to do lily pad at any point prior to pinna or post pinna. Including using fruit to clip into the pipe, and then complete pin of 4 and get that goal without having to do anything additional. So we'll see if that comes into play for Ramato. Might be eyeing 6 reds as sort of a long-term goal. Lily pad is a fast shine. There is some value in investing into pinna for him, So
and it's really good for reds.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about in that department. Almost recovered. Yeah.
It had like a little bit of an awkward split, but like they still stayed lined up enough where it was. Oh, okay, they're all gone.
Yeah, now it's in a bad state.
They've all left.
Manta is one of the trickier shines in SMS. The goal, the speedrun strategy, is to try to get it to split into all of the smallest mantas as soon as possible, because that causes them to then hone in on Mario, for varying definitions of the word hone in. So a lot of the strats involve trying to keep the big mantas as close together as possible so you can just stand in one place and spam spray as expediently as possible. That didn't quite happen there for Rimato, lost some time, shouldn't be too big of a deal. The goals for Serena aren't being contested by Larvi, who has exited Rico 2 and is now unlocking Gelato.
Yep. This gets rid of cutscenes for him. I don't think he's gonna go. Actually, he could go in for the enemy. But Gelato also doesn't have the most value on this card. It has Wiggler. And that's a generally bad goal.
Gelato also has fast hiddens available from the get-go, has a fast red available from the get-go, has some blues, not the fastest, has an enemy, sort of fast.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, Wiggler sort of later on. I doubt we will see a serious commit to Wiggler unless it's really getting desperate. And we're seeing Larvi start to pick up some blues here in Gelato, making a beeline for the birds and for the hidden shine. Meanwhile, Rimato senses opportunity there as well and goes to unlock Gelato.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about 5 bluebirds being a goal. 5 bluebirds, definitely reason for Larvi to go here. It does help with hiddens, and because he wants Rico, that generally shows that he wants to do these 2 Gelato shines. One of the birds flies away. That's unfortunate, but he gets a good other bird. Oh, looks like he just grabs it.
Yeah, just wants one bird, I think. At least gives you the possibility of finishing 5 bluebirds in Pinna if Rimato leaves it open. I don't disagree with that choice. I think you'd bleed too much time waiting for it, especially for a goal that you're not even guaranteed to get.
Yep. Yeah, it's generally it looks like he wants Pinna at least somewhat. He has a lot of time before he has to really worry about it. Also, most of Pinna is like one thing is drafted by Rimato right now. And then Pinna 4 and Lily Pad shines. It could be something Larvi goes for, but I think it's a little awkward. We see him continue his bluebird trek.
Gets his second. And here we are. Rimato's going for lily pad.
Okay, so Rimato's kind of showing what he wants now. He does want the Pinna goals. He only committed to doing Manta. If Larvi wanted, he could try to snag 9 Serena Blues and the other 2 Serena goals. That would hurt Rimato quite a bit, as it would kind of make the doing Manta just for a boss shine a little awkward.
I think Larvi needs to watch Tomato's sick Get the Rocket IL. Set to Propane Nightmares exclusively. For a little bit of improvement there, but grabs the rocket. That'll be the first rocket for Larvi. Meanwhile, Rimato's going to finish out Lilypad's second red, making his way to 7 shines. Larvi's at 8, notably, so a little ahead there, but taking a look at the blue count, Rimato just needs 2 fast blues. Should be able to mop that up pretty quickly if he so desires.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of blues still to grab for Rimato and them both. Larvi only has 5, so it looks like he's not really interested.
Yeah, Larvi's has written off blues, I think, in terms of sort of their raw potential for collecting, which I don't think is a bad judgment on this card.
Yep.
Considering the strength of blues is pretty much been drafted away by Rimato, and I think Larvi is fine with that. We'll try to contest some of the goals that are possible for him to contest without committing a ton of time, such as birds.
Yep. Looks like Rimato is going back into Serena, so he wants to finish off 9 Serena blues. Although it should be noted he did not grab the underwater one.
Yeah, he didn't grab the underwater one, nor did he grab both of the NPCs.
I wonder if he's thinking deep Serena.
I mean, he does, if he wants to go for 4 Serena shines, right? At some point,
yeah,
he's going to need to enter Serena 3. There's no way around it, unless he does beach money like a complete psychopath.
Yeah, for the fans, but...
For the fans, but not really necessary. So being in Serena 3 gives him access to many, many more blues. Makes 9 kind of trivial. But he'll grab the ones outside of the hotel here. That will put him at 6.
Yup. Larvi grabs his second boss.
Has a bit of trouble in there in blooper. And one thing I want to touch on here is Rimato is going to collect 7 blues, and oh wait, no, he did get both of the NPCs. Then he's got 8 right now.
Yeah, he made sure. Okay, yeah,
we both. Thank you for checking, Rimato, because I didn't see him. Falcon Hit is confirming that he grabbed both NPCs. Got to respect the resident stat man Falcon Hit for keeping us all honest. And back to my original thought as Rimato falls down here, along with the blooper. One of the wrinkles of draft that we didn't quite touch upon is as soon as you collect a drafted goal that you drafted, you must immediately click the particular goal. Now, this might not sound like much to the average viewer, but it actually adds a pretty big layer of strategy to draft, as by clicking goals in Lockout, you reveal to your opponent where you are and what you've been doing. So by clicking 9 Serena blues, Larvi knows that Rimato is in Serena 2.
Yep.
And can now make decisions based on that. For other goals on the card, you don't have to click a goal immediately. Now, obviously, that runs the risk of your opponent clicking it before you, but you also conceal the information from your opponent. It's what makes Lockout Bingo, and it makes it just an absolute joy to watch this metagaming of the mind games of information given and taken from your opponent.
Yep. Absolutely. So, Larvi is going to have access to this turbo really early.
Yeah, we were for all the talk we did of using the rocket in Bianco. Neither player has entered Bianco, and the first turbo of the match is going to be Rico 6, as Larvi unfortunately slides right past the shine. Happens to the best of us.
Yep.
Back into Rico goes Rimato, or rather, for the first time, it seems.
Yep. So he's going to grab blues because it's Rimato, and then a boss. This will be his second boss.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely wants 3 bosses. That is no secret at this point.
Should be able to do it pretty comfortably, too. 22 minutes on the clock. There's a 30-minute draft protection period, so he's got about 8 minutes to get to Pinna, and he will be able to do so very comfortably. Larvi, on the other hand, is exiting with 6 shines collected in Rico, grabs the second bird, and is able to go straight for Pinna, though. So he will be first to Pinna, net, and will be able to have 5 birds in his pocket, but unfortunately gets trapped in the jelly skip. That is the risk.
Yep. Yeah, he has to do a soft reset back to the start of Plaza. Definitely an unfortunate time loss. He's still going to be first to Pinna. It's not
not as much of a lead, but the question is can Rimato get to 15 pin of yellow button coins, and is Larvi going to call the bluff?
I think if Rimato plays well, he can get to 15 yellow buttons at this point. What's
Watching
unfortunate
Honey
for
skip.
Larvi?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What's unfortunate for Larvi is because of that mess up, it might have costed him being able to contest the pin of 4 and Lilypad Shine's goal. Because he might have had time to actually get to that. Regardless.
All right, we are restarting in 3, 2, 1, go. And while we were waiting over the break, we had a donation from Ghost Alchemist for $22 saying, been waiting for this SMS race, this whole event, and then the tech issues happened. Have this donation while we wait. Well, thank you for your $22, raising us to $1,221 for Fred Hutch. Thank you again for your generosity and your support. We are happy to have you along as both players are in Pinna Park as we push to the last 5 minutes of the draft period. And Rimato has birds in his sights. He's going to get his 4th bird here.
Is that only his 3rd? Has he entered Gelato?
Oh, he's not entered Gelato. Yeah, this would be his 3rd then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, something that he might go for if Larvi leaves it up, is my guess.
But it's, yes, Larvi did draft. Yeah,
and it's about to be clicked now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that bird on the entry to Pinna, pretty easy to grab. Sort of trivial to do it in bingo. There's only like a very few situations where you kind of not want it. But
yeah, you pretty much just grab it unless like you're entering Pinna for the first time and totals have not been clicked or have all been clicked. It's like, oh, okay, I don't need blues anymore.
And with that, 5 bluebirds is clicked away. Both players with 1 goal on the board. We're going to try to get the colors and everything set back up when we can. But please bear with us. If you need a reminder, Larvi has drafted in red and is clicking goals in orange. Rimato drafted in green and is clicking goals in blue. And we'll click away 3 boss shines with the completion of Mecha Bowser. So talk about revealing information by these clicks. Both players know that each other is in Pinna.
Yes.
And specifically, Larvi knows that he's slightly ahead in Pinna, given that he's about to enter the mole fight if he gets mole skip. The mole has a hitbox, but it goes away at a certain point in his animation, and you can just swoosh right in.
Yeah, definitely the gameplay hurt a bit, because Rimato also thinks he's ahead based on what 5 bluebirds usually means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's critical. If you notice, a little bit of micro decision making there from Larvi to not pick up the 5th bluebird coin until after he had both done the Mecha Bowser fight and defeated the enemy and grabbed another ancillary blue. So really trying to conceal from each other where their progress is. Larvi's done a better job of that, just simply because he's clicked a lot less. But and they are sharing with each other that both of those clicks were slightly delayed, which I think further helps Larvi, because a 5-second delay between getting the bluebird and clicking the goal would be just about the right amount of time to water slide over to the cutscene trigger.
Yep. Well, Larvi should get... He might go for the yellow button right away, but Rimato will get the yellow button. That's not a question at this point.
The timer on the stream is about a minute ahead. We are going off of a separate timer to determine when the draft period is up. We're about 2 minutes away from that, as they both are in Pinna 3. Pinna 3, fairly high execution shine, and it's interesting to see what blues they're going for and when and how. It seems like they're both following pretty similar routes here, just Larvi is ever so slightly ahead due to his earlier completion of an entry of Pinna.
Yeah.
And he's going for yellow button right now, but both of them are. So this is going to be unfortunate for Larvi. He is going to do this for essentially nothing.
It's better execution of the yellow button coins. Which it looks like it's going to be Rimato.
Yep. Well, he had plenty of time to do it. Last minute of the draft period. They're going to continue to map up blues. Larvi is probably a little disappointed in that happenstance, but what can you do? That's got to be your expectation. Rimato is not a huge fan of leaving things to chance, and that was pretty cleanly executed to get that in at the very tail end of the draft period.
Yep. Luckily, Larvi does not give up or give away information about what he's been doing.
Yep.
With that said, Rimato doesn't really have a reason to not do Pinna 4 next.
Yep, and that will secure that goal. We'll see if Rimato delays it.
When are the unclicks happening?
The unclicks are happening in about 5 seconds.
Okay.
PK, you... Whoops.
No, those were the ones he had.
There we go. Everything's accurate now.
Yep.
Both of them in Pinna 4 here. Completing the shine for both of them will give them access to the fastest 100 coin shine in Pinna, which is Pinna 5 through 8. Yep. I say 5 through 8 because the beach is essentially identical between all those episodes. Same amount of coins.
Larvi got really bullied.
I did get a little bullied there.
He still managed to turn it back into a 2-cycle.
And Ramato's going to click away Pinna 4 and Lily Pad shines. Put that into his column.
Yep.
I don't think Larvi, even with that save and quit exit, would have had enough time to be able to contest that goal reasonably.
Yeah. Honestly, now I expect Larvi tries to do Pinna 100s. Because 5 from 2.
Yep. That would make sense. Ramato's bailing, though, exiting. Larvi's heading back in. So, yeah, 5 from 2. Pretty smart to do right now.
He also did 6 in Rico, so he should get 6 from 2.
Yeah, he would need to do one more shine there, obviously. I don't think there's any reason to keep going in Pinna at this point, though. Like, what does Pinna 5's valueless, Pinna 6, you don't need the secret, really. I just do Pinna 2 reds. Red coin hidden. Go do other stuff.
It's probably Pinna 2 reds and then Pinna 100 would be my guess. He's going to start with Pinna 100. That makes more sense.
Yep, because it is the more immediately contestable goal.
It's also really not that slow. Like, it's still 100 coins, so it's slower than a lot of things, but, like, this one's very trivial in terms of speed.
Rimato will get back into Serena 2.
So, probably Serena 2R right now. Probably going to life grind.
You're there. You might as well, I think.
Rimato once again getting bullied by Serena 2.
Not the easiest. The movement done in speedruns there is actually quite difficult, even if it doesn't look that way. There's a little bit of randomness of where the boos go. There's you can get it pretty consistently if you spin jump and spray at the same time, but even then, a little bit off, and you're getting knocked around.
Yep, definitely.
And here's the life grind in Serena 2. Basically only ever done in bingos. If you're doing this in a run, But essentially, ground pounding a bunch of stews here as a Larvae clicks away 5 from 2 and pin a 100 coin shine. Ground pounding those 3 stews at once gets you 3 lives, and there's an additional life in the block, which means you get net 3 lives every time you run through the loop. One of the faster life grinds, I think, only beaten out by Pianta 5.
Yes. Serena 2 is the second fastest behind the Pianta 5-1, which is just actually ridiculous at times.
Yeah. There are other places where you can life grind that's relevant in Bingo. One of the earliest is in Bianco 1, where you can ground pound 3 stews at once for 2 lives. Yep. This game is consistently inconsistent. The amount of lives you get from ground pounding groups of 3 stews can not even be the same, no matter if you do it correctly each time. So
yeah, it's inconsistent.
Consistently inconsistent. Back into Pinna 2 reds for Larvae. This will be 6 from 2 worlds as well. Not going to be relevant here, but levels versus worlds does matter in a bingo context. Levels is anything like Pinna Park or Bianco Hills or Rico Harbor. Yep. Worlds adds Delfino to the mix. So you could, in fact, do 6 from 2 worlds with Delfino. That may have been an aspiration of Ramato's, with the amount of Delfino shines that he's collected, but that aspiration is gone. 6 from 2 clicked away by Mr. Larvitar.
Yeah, that is a gone goal. So now Larvae has Turbo pretty much unlocked. He has Rico Shadow Mario basically unlocked. He can get 2 more goals there. I think the next thing he's probably going to look at is maybe Rockets.
Rockets. I see enemies potentially. Yep. Right? 3 bosses, click there. You don't know if that's Bianco or not, but as we mentioned, and as we've sort of deduced, not a ton of reason to go to Bianco other than for the nozzles, really. And that's just for ease of access. And both runners have not even touched that particular level.
Yep.
Looks like Ramato's going to try to finish out Delfino Blues here, though.
Yeah, so right now they're both kind of just finishing goals they already have. It's fine. Ramato is delaying the Serena Hidden Shine. Completely doable because there's no reason not to. Larvae probably going to go around and grab the enemies.
Yep.
Oop. Okay. That was odd.
Cute little life grind strat there from Ramato. We'll grab the 2 lives underneath the plaza, underneath the beach, rather, and we'll grab these 2 Delfino Blues along the way. Other little bingo strat that you see for those lives. And that is a Rico 7. That is a Rico 7. There is a pretty consistent method to kill Shadow Mario while he's on the girder. That did not work out for Larvae initially, so Larvae decided to go do other stuff. Got the turbo, click that away, got some more enemies. Not nearly at 7 yet. It's got a few more to go, I believe. Has, I think, at least the 2 in 2 more in Rico. Probably will enter for Rico 4 reds at some point and finish that out. But he's going to trade.
Soon. Yeah,
that gets him to Noki. Yeah.
He's going to go for the 2 rockets. He's going to go for the 12 Noki Blues. Completely fair. A good idea. It's going to be... the interesting part is which does he value first? As for what I think, he probably wants to secure the... it might depend on when Ramato clicks 15.
Touch on delays for a moment here. Rico Shadow Mario still unclicked by Mr. Larvitar, and Run Serena Hidden Shine just clicked by Ramato, trying to mask the progress there. The timing of the 20 lives one Serena Hidden click is also interesting. About a minute 30 between the two. That is about what you would expect from doing Serena 2 Hidden. So Ramato trying to mask that he has already done that and is well beyond there. Probably to try to protect 15 Delfinos. That really wasn't a goal of Larvae's, though. So net, the information game doesn't get him a whole lot here.
Yeah. So Larvi is going to go for the rocket first while grabbing blues. You can very reliably get 4 up as you go up to here. After that,
is this the Noki God? Or is that the Noki single? I need to update my list of names for trick jumps.
Good old trick. Yep. Okay, so that's 2 rockets. I assume Larvi is going to finish out the remainder.
Yep. No reason not to. So now, where does Larvi go from here?
Yeah, so this is where it gets awkward. 6 Hidden Shines is definitely something he wants. He's going to want enemies. He's going to want Rico, Shadow Mario. He's going to want 3 rockets. So he's at 1, 2, 3...
Gets him to like 10. Yeah, he gets 8 from 1 with that as well. Like, okay, he has 8 from 1 and Rico, Shadow Mario essentially unlock. He will get 12 Noki Blues with this. Yep. He aspires for 3 rockets, 6 hiddens.
Yep.
That gets him to 11. Does he?
Yep.
Does he like push for eel? It gets a little awkward at that point because then you would need 7 enemies, right? And then you would need eel, right?
Yep.
To essentially win. Everything else, you're kind of just behind 2. Like there's like a world where you can be kind of cute and get 6 reds, but I don't think super realistic.
Yeah, 6 reds is a little awkward, especially since he's gonna probably have to go through Bianco still.
And here is Rimato trading in for access to Noki. Larvi will need 12 on the counter to get to 12 Noki Blues. That is a bit of an unfortunate little bit of movement out of Larvi there.
Yeah, there's some movement happening on the screen. Oop.
Are you watching the Bingothon stream and not their individual streams? SMH.
Is there an individual one?
They're streaming to their mains.
Whoa. This is news to me.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm like 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah, this makes sense.
All right, Larvi's going to be able to mop up the 12th blue here. Actually, was at 13. Didn't need to. Clicks that away. Rimato appears to have bailed from that aspiration, now heading towards Pinna. I'm not sure. Okay, Pinna has reds for him.
It's probably 2 reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna enter Pinna 2 here.
It also off chance gives him progress to 8 from 1 if somehow he needs to race for it. But at this point, he'd at best be 1 shine behind.
Yeah. And so Larvi is heading back to Rico, it seems. Will attempt to secure 8 from 1 with this play. Should be able to do that pretty handily. Get him another red, get him another hidden. What's his hidden count at? He's got Pinna 2. He's got gonna get Rico 4 here. He's got
Gelato
Sand, and he's got Noki Gold. So we'll be at 4 after this, I believe.
Yep.
And Rimato, this is his first?
I think so.
Second. Oh, yes. Serena 2R. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So Larvi is well and truly ahead, but the fast ones are gone. The slower ones are left. But Larvi does have the access that he needs, I think. No, because he would need to do Gelato 1 and then Gelato 1 reds to get to 6.
Yeah, so it's a little bit awkward there, but he should be fine. I think it's more important for him to get the reds at this point than the hiddens. If he could somehow snag reds from Rimato, he's actually in a pretty good spot.
That is also, I believe, the 5th enemy total for Mr. Larvi. Got the 1 in Pinna and the 4 here in Rico.
Yep.
Is Larvi gonna try to gun for Delfino Rocket as his last rocket? It looks that way. He's still collecting blues. He could also be trying to threaten 60 totals. He's not that far behind at about 38, having traded in 20.
Yeah, so I guess what I'd say in terms of that is somehow he's going to need a 7th enemy. And Bianco's the most logical. He doesn't have reason to try for Serena. He doesn't have any reason to do 5 or 4 shines in Pianta.
Yeah, to get access to the bees.
Yep. So he doesn't.
That's a big click. That's a big click here from Larvi for Rico Shadow Mario 8 from 1. Rimato just finished out pin of 5, which provides him absolutely no value, and is entering back in, I believe, for pin of 6 and pin of 6R, just because he has access. But
that's awkward. Yeah,
Larvi's
so
contemplating life choices right now. Here's me heading to Gelato. Respectable.
He's getting bodied by the fire Pianta. Now he's going to clean the fire Pianta.
While we're seeing what happens here, do you guys mind if I cut in?
Sure.
Sure.
Hey, just introducing myself. My name is Just Call Me MB. I'm one of our hosts along with Lego. So welcome to your hosting / calming shift. And just wanted to remind the friends at home that if you donate, you'll be eligible to win some of our prizes. You can find all that information and more on our website. And it also goes to a fantastic cause, which is Fred Hutch. So let's remember that as we're enjoying this beautiful bingo game.
Thank you, MB. Rimato got coconut RNG. Slowest fruit in both Rico 6 and, both in Pinna 6 and in EYG, which is a trick you may have seen if you've watched any percent runs. Allows you to skip Pinna 5. Other than that, pretty clean execution so far throughout the secret. Meanwhile, Larvi, did he grab the enemy there? I was busy listening to.
Don't remember. Regardless, he needs at least 1 in Bianco.
Yeah. Yep.
Which one is available in Bianco 3? I don't think you go for that one. I think you just have to try for the 1 in 4 because he wants Rocket anyways.
I think you have to. I think if you're Larvi, you have to call the bluff that 7 enemies is something that Rimato is completely disinterested in. Right? You have to not prioritize. You have to secure everything else that you're going to need to win, and then go for enemies. Because if you commit too hard to Bianco right now, you run the risk of letting Rimato just sort of run all over the map. And Rimato is definitely within spitting distance right now of hiddens, of reds, has blues in his column. Can't really threaten 3 rockets, but also has 4 from Serena, and that gets you to 12 goals. Eel or Wiggler could finish that out in
Larvi
a
does not want to be in a race.
Yeah.
So he has to try to snag one of the 4 goals that Rimato wants, and then try to guess right in terms of Eel and Wiggler. Which at this moment, he honestly should think he's ahead to Wiggler.
Just having done
having gone a 1.
Important to note, too, I believe they are now tied in terms of reds. Both at 4 apiece completed.
Ooh.
Oh, but Rimato's Pinna 6R is his 6th red, and that death from Larvi is untimely.
Yeah, that's bad. So, Larvi's best chance is... Yeah, that's gross for him. Ooh,
another death.
So he wants 6 hiddens. He's wants 7 enemies as his win con, and he wants 3 rockets. Then he just so he should still be fine. He can still call the bluff on if he got
he can call the bluff on 7 enemies because Rimato's Rico progress is Rico 1, right? Yep. And he'd have to do all, and plus neither of them have any Bianco progress and have shown no Bianco progress. There's really no reason to have been in Bianco early. Larvi will complete that out. 6 reds is unclicked. Larvi is clearly not pleased with his play. Larvi pretty notable in the community for for holding himself to a high standard, especially when it comes to these hidden reds. So 2 rough deaths there, losing a bunch of time. Definitely not great from a mental perspective. But he's soldiering on here. 6 reds still unclicked. Larvi needs 1 more red, but is almost out of options for stuff that would be easy for him to do it with. I mean, he looks like he's heading straight for...
he's done Pachinko.
He's going straight for Pachinko. So this delay, Rimato may not have 6.
He has pin a 3, pin a 6R, pin a 2R, Pachinko, lily pad. I don't know what he'd have as a 6th. And it looks like Ramada's going for a 6th in Gelato. So I don't think he has it.
Oh, Serena 2R as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he does have 6. I keep forgetting
this
that
delay may bite Rimato in the ass, and it does. Larvi clicks away 6 reds. And Rimato dies, clearing away 20 lives. Shock of the 6 red click? Did that cause Rimato to lose the life? Who knows? But that is a huge, huge pickup. Either a miscounting from Rimato or trying to delay. I'm not sure what that was, but I don't know. I think Rimato should have probably clicked it earlier with 6 hiddens on the card. You have to imagine that 6 reds is
he just
part
has
of
to
that.
assume that's what he's going for.
Yeah. We'll grab the life, though. There's a pretty easily accessible one. In Gelato 1 reclicks that goal. So Larvi is threatening all comers right now and is heading straight for 6 hiddens.
Yep. This is the next best click for him.
Yep.
Rimato doesn't really have any progress to 3 rockets or 7 enemies. If Larvi gets 6 hiddens, he should just win.
Rimato is re-entering for Gelato 1 here for, I believe, his 5th hidden. But this will be Larvi's 6th by my estimation. And it should complete that goal as well. And then Larvi just has to see his win con of enemies and rockets.
Yep. And he can just go to Bianco for that. So, nice and easy. His only lose con is if he tries to be cute with something.
I don't think
he might be able to, but
yeah, I don't think Larvi's doesn't strike me as that type. Finishes out Rico 2 hidden, clicks away 6 hiddens, and is in a dominant position going into the tail end of this match.
I just got a DM from Rimato. He's like, "Oh wait, I had 6 reds. Forgot about 2
Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's rough.
That's unfortunate. Looks like he is going for Delfino Rocket.
That was what I was, in my estimation, a possibility. Still don't know where he's going to get this last hidden from, or this last enemy from. That he's.
It's probably still going to be. It's like, okay, so what he does here is he can grab this rocket, and then he can just do Bianco 2. He no longer has to do Bianco 3.
Correct. Yeah, and I guess net you can finish on that and not lose any time.
Because he's probably saying, in order for Rimato to even contest 7 enemies, he's gonna have to basically go through 3 rockets anyways.
Nice clean dive to skip the Shadow Mario text box. Might be just splitting his bets here. Whatchamacallit. Inoki 1 isn't too slow. This'll get him at least stay leg up in Eel.
Yeah, he's going to do Inoki 1 and Inoki 2 probably, because Inoki 2 is also stupid fast, and also it's pretty close to where the rocket will spawn.
Yeah, and so Larvi is making the right call here, basically saying 7 enemies is mine. There is no reason why Rimato should have any access to it, and is leaving that up for last, and is hedging his bets with this Eel play. Or rather, hedging his bets with this Eel access, be 2 shines up there. Not a bad call by any means. And yeah, it's going to come down to Rimato miscounting his reds, I think. you give that goal over to Rimato, and then all of a sudden, Larvi now has to also contest Eel. I don't think it's necessarily the make or break thing, but it is definitely something that changed the tenor of this match from maybe slightly Larvi favored to a Larvi victory.
It basically would have went from the current situation to a 50-50 between Eel and Wiggler, which Larvi would be ahead to at least one of them at that point. Or it would actually be back to even because Rimato entered Gelato. Yeah. But from his knowledge, he'd probably feel like he's ahead to Wiggler and ahead to, and probably even to Eel. So, yep, we see Noki too. This is completely the right call. And then he just has to do a PD fight, which it's slow, but Rimato's not catching up in that time.
Yep. Especially with Rimato's trying to just finish out 60 totals here, unless he's going to throw the match, which I doubt, but hey, you never know.
Yep.
Drops it in.
Larry's going to grab some blues at the same time just because he can.
Just in case. And Rimato's just exiting, not even trying to make a play for Wiggler right now.
Yeah, he's saying Larvi's not going for this. If he is, so be it. He's trying to make it so that any situation left is a race. Unfortunately, nothing will be a real race at this point after the 3 rockets are clicked.
Yeah, I think Rimato is showing basically conceding the match here. Knows it's over. Trying to Serena whenever with the open pipe. Will click away 3 rockets for Larvi. And now it is a PD2 away from victory.
He's going to choose Eel instead. That's fine also.
Also fine. Having a little bit of fun with door clipping there.
Everyone's favorite.
We'll finish out 60 totals for him.
So yeah, Ramada's kind of just cleaning up the goals that he can easily get right now.
We'll grab the banana and be all set. But overall, other than the bit of rough counting mistake from Rimato, very close match, all things considered.
Yep. Yeah,
Rimato got off to a fast start. Larvi played his cards right. The Rico play was the right one. Ended up not being contested super hard. Was able to be slightly ahead and into Pinna, and was able to sort of reap the benefits of the deep Rico progression with the 5 from 2, 6 from 2, 8 from 1.
Yep, I agree.
And notably, this is a pretty big win for Larvi. This is outside of a tournament setting, of course, but Larvi's been hunting for a win against Rimato for a little while now. Did notably get a victory over Rimato in the first season of the Bingo League, but did not get so this past season 2. So getting another win is against one of the best Bingo players in SMS right now is pretty notable.
We got Rimato going for Lighthouse.
One of the niche Bingo tricks, never broken out during as a actual strategy inside of a official tournament match. Infinite wall kicks up allows you to ground pound with enough height to break the block atop the lighthouse, and then you can just do it all over again. If you enjoy doing this, there's a category for you. It's called Get to the Top of Pachinko, where you just do this for about a minute. And Rimato misses, showing it is not nearly as easy to do. Rimato is asking for a finish. Doesn't he know that he's finish? tried to get Lighthouse done for the fans. And so a big win here for Mr. Larvitar. Played well, other than a little bit of an unfortunate accident inside of Gelato 1 Reds. But other than that, played his cards right, drafted well, and a fantastic match from both of them.
Nope.
Larvi is also having an eel.
Larvi messages, I'm trying to end it. Larvi is trying his best not to end it at this point. Larry's just accepted his fate. He's just cleaning it.
Gets to watch the cutscene. Oh, remember, friends, always take care of your teeth. And as a reward for good dental hygiene provided to the eel, the final shine of this draft lockout 1v1 match here at Bingothon Summer 2021 will go the way of the German delegation, Mr. MLarvitar, taking it in a 13-10 victory. Fantastic match. GG.
Yep. It was a good match. Everybody likes upsets.
GG. We're definitely going to get our runners in here, right, for an interview?
They are already in here. They just need to undeafen.
Yes. Well, friends at home, if you wanted to donate even $1 and wish them GG, that is always a welcome way to do that. So let's go ahead and celebrate these runners.
And hello and welcome back to the realm of the hearing, Mr. Larvi, Mr. Rimato. GG's to you both.
Hello, hi.
GG's.
GG, yeah.
So let's sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry, it's probably the part of it's residual tech issues.
Friends at home, feel free to let us know. Oh, I think we're back.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
May the interview continue.
All right. Well, then let's restart our thoughts. Again, GG's to you, Rimato and Larvi. Congrats, Larvi, on your win. PK, you were talking about their starts.
Yeah, so relatively standard starts. Larvi starting with his Rico play, basically shown in his draft that he wanted Rico. Rimato with the Serena play, pretty much shown in the draft. You kind of wanted Serena into Pinna, which works in draft. What were your thoughts on the draft phase itself?
For me, I clicked 5 bluebirds and then realized how good 3 bosses is on this card.
Yep.
And then I was sad.
I was pretty happy with my draft, but I kind of feel like I lost it thinking back, since I don't think I made any super bad calls, and it was still a pretty clear win for Larvitar.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that and sort of thinking about the role the draft played in sort of the routes you chose. I felt like while both of your drafts were good for what you wanted to do, it just felt like Larvi ended up more set up for the rest of the card. I felt like the Blues goals were a little less valuable overall, just based on the weakness of Blues and the sort of the weirdness of Blues overall. Like with only 45 and 60 totals, and then no real other total Blues goals and levels outside of Serena and Noki. sort of made it kind of awkward for you, Rimato. You were sort of in the mid game, dipping into levels, collecting a bunch of blues, leaving. Whereas Larvi was always sort of pushing towards what Larvi wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Random question, Larvi, did you have aspirations for Pinafore and Lilypad?
Yeah, but I forgot about it.
Okay, that's a mood.
Yeah, I want to get 5 birds and then see what's happening afterwards. But then I don't know. The pause came, and I completely forgot how the board even looked like. I saw the board, I was like, oh yeah, there's 7 enemies. Dang.
Yeah, we were thinking that would be your win con. We were debating between Eel or 7 enemies by doing PD2. So I was your Eel was a little tragic there at the end. So I was gonna joke, at least PD doesn't eat you.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So really unfortunate. I guess major turning point was 6 reds.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah, I had 6 reds, but I forgot about Sirena 2 reds, so...
So did we, for that matter.
Yeah, we also forgot.
Yeah.
It basically turned the match from, like, Larvi getting 6 reds pretty much secured him a win.
Yeah, it was pretty much over at that point, since I was also behind 2 hiddens, and I needed, like... I could spare 1 goal, but as soon as I lost the reds and was behind the hiddens, there wasn't really anything to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Could have turned it into like a 50-50 between Eel and Wiggler.
Yep. That was basically where it would have been at that point. If you get 6 reds and the other goals probably still go to Larvi, it becomes a race for Eel and Wiggler, which is just a 50-50, which it's obviously better than the end situation, but that was definitely the turning point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it tilted the scales, and I wanted to call out specifically, Larvi. I really liked your choice to commit to Delfino Rocket and get progress towards Eel over the slightly greedier play of going to Bianco and trying to finish out Rockets there. In hindsight, I think it sets you up a lot more defensively against any of Romato's potential progress.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked I got 3 rockets, and for like a similar matter, I feel like I should not be surprised that I got 2 rockets, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of surprised I got 2 rockets with Noki. It's kind of stupid, but sure.
Yeah, Rimato did not go to Bianco and did not do Rico 2.
Makes sense.
So he had like no progress, and like it's obviously the right call to choose 3 rockets over 7 enemies because you're gonna get to the rockets before the enemies anyways. So it was like you just made a lot of good calls. The 6 reds was unfortunate, but overall I think it was routed really well. I don't think either route was necessarily terrible. It was just like awkward ending, but
yeah, the main issue I had with my route was that I wasn't initially planning to do Sirena 2 with the Sirena Blues, so my Pina entry was delayed by a few minutes, which meant that I couldn't really contest 6 from 2 or the Pina 100s.
Yeah, we were thinking 6 from 2 was definitely something you wanted and I assume you wanted that with Delfino. Yeah. So it was definitely something you probably could have contested if you stuck around. How many Delfino shines did you have at that point?
I had all 6. Yeah.
You had 6? Okay.
He had 6.
So yeah, if you stuck around for that, you would have gotten it.
Yeah, but I was just really scared of Larvi getting the Sirena goals.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even bother like thinking about Serena at all.
Yep, that's just the mind games.
There was one thing. Oh, how long did you have the 6 reds for, Rimato?
Only like a minute, I think.
It was basically like he had it before you went into Pachinko.
Okay, so like I did a routing mistake. I miscounted my reds, and then when I did like another 1 reds, I was like, wait, I will have only 5 after this. This is pretty awkward, you know?
Yeah.
And then I tried to be fast and then completely fucked up twice, and I was even more sad.
Yeah. It happens though. Pressure of the moment.
Oh no, that's just me being bad.
That too.
That primarily, but yeah.
I'm trying to be charitable to you, Larvi.
Oh, I'm not.
Bingo
I know.
brings out the best and the worst in us.
Alrighty. Exactly. All right. Well, any other closing thoughts then from you two?
I'm surprised I won. I'm glad I won. GG Rimato.
GG's. This
Hold
was
it over
my,
him forever.
Yeah, this was my first loss in a marathon setting, so that's kind of sad. But you deserved it, so it's fine.
Will we see a rematch during ESA?
Me and Danny submitted for ESA, so I think we'll have to wait for season 3 of the Bingo League.
That's true. I was just going to say. So you can catch both Rimato and Larvi at their respective Twitch channels, but you can also catch them in the Super Mario Sunshine 1v1 Lockout Bingo League. Season 2 wrapped at the end of March, I believe, with 48 competitors across 3 divisions. Tons of weekly bingo matches go on over in conjunction with Bingothon at Sunshine Community. We also have a 2v2 tournament that is ongoing. There's a match today at 4 p.m. Eastern. Don't want to miss it. It'll be a exciting one to watch.
I have to play again.
Yeah, Larvi has to play again. So
Larvi has to get carried.
Yeah, Larvi has to get carried by Juan.
Oh, no.
If you're interested in SMS Bingo, want to catch up on matches, all that good stuff, sms.bingo is the hub for all things bingo right now. Links to the Discord, all the past matches from Season 2, and so much more going to be coming your way there. That's all for us. Anything else before we throw it to intermission?
I do not believe so. We're just going to get some ads, get some awesome music, and we'll be back with you guys soon for Bingothon Summer 2021. We are going strong. Our next run is Pikmin 2.
Hype.
you can always go to fredhutch.org to keep up with some of the research that we're putting out there. You can even follow some of our researchers on Twitter, or Fred Hutch on Twitter and Instagram. We do retweet a lot of the science that is going on at the Hutch and with our collaborators. So actually, even going to Fred Hutch's YouTube channel, I do put up a lot of our scientific talks. I know for me personally, I read all the work that happens at Fred Hutch. I listen to a bunch of talks. I also read certain publications like Vox News has a very good science writer as well. And Stat also has a really good science section as well. The Atlantic as well in the US also has a really good science writer as well. The more science does to be accessible, the less mistrust of science we get.
In case
Good
people
job.
at home can
Good
hear
job.
us.
Good job. This is.
I think we're back. I'm not sure.
Wait. This did not work.
All right. If you can hear us, friend at home, we are cutting the stream so we can restart it. I'm gonna mute now. Hello, my name is Just Call Me MB, and I'm talking with One Single Breath and telling you that you can donate to our many amazing causes, one of which includes Fred Hutch, and you might also get to see some bonus runs, aka Cyberpunk, for the first time ever.
At a bid goal of $2,077 for total raised for Fred Hutch, We've got lots of runs coming up today. Super Mario 63, 100% Lockout Bingo, Jet Set Radio Future Lockout as well after that. But up next, Pikmin 2 Double Bingo, Curtis JK versus Max 25. You're watching Bingothon Summer 2021. Please give generously if you're able to. If you're not able to, that is completely okay. Your presence here enriches the stream. Enjoy your marathon and enjoy Pikmin 2 Double Bingo.